All right, we got 5 minutes on the clock. I'm here with an old buddy. What's your name and the name of your show?
Hey, Josh, good to see you again. My name is Joe Killinger. I think we can probably see it in the background here if I knew which way I was going. And it's just on YouTube. It's under Joe Killinger. It's
Yeah.
very basic. I keep the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it
That's
simple,
my
stupid.
motto.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like the weatherman. Like when you're talking, you have to remember which way to
Yeah.
point to
Which
things.
way? Which direction? Yeah.
Got it. All right. So we talked about before, when you started your podcast show, you started it and you were creating a bunch of content with this
Yeah.
idea. If I create it, we're going to make money and people are going to come. You had an epiphany one day. What was that?
Well, I did, create it. They will come and, but my direction, I didn't have any direction. I was just creating content to create content. And that's the wrong path. You have to understand your why. Why am I doing this? And then you want to focus on it and just say, okay, if I'm doing this, I'm going to build a community that we're going to build it together, and I'm going to start, getting everybody to make comments and really be active on my social media or my podcast. And then those people will eventually turn into clients, and friends, obviously. And so, you really want to focus on your why and understand why you're actually taking the time to do this. And, we see a lot of people out there, they're just putting content out and, they say they're in real estate, but then they're doing something else outside of or commercial real estate. They're doing something outside of real estate. And so if you're focused on commercial real estate and you start putting content out about residential real estate, you're going to confuse your followers, your
Hmm.
community,
Yeah.
so be very focused on it.
I love what you say. As content creators, we create content, right? We love doing this. Before we hit record, we were like, man, we both love doing this game. Like this
Yeah,
is
it's
so
fun.
fun. And then there's the audience out there, but you like to use content to pull people into a community of
Right.
engagement, of relationships, of
Yeah.
friendships, potential clients. What's the
Yeah.
difference between audience and community?
Oh, well, that depends. That's a very good question. Well, your audience is your community. If you can get them to engage, you want to get them engaged in what you're doing. Ask questions. For example, yesterday I had a guy reached out and he goes, "Hey, I'm looking at doing a deal in Florida, Miami specific. Do you have a broker there?" Absolutely, I do. Brian Cohen is who you want to talk to. So we really can help each other out. And I will get people on the YouTube channel that somebody will ask a question and I won't see it right away, but one of the community will see it. They'll answer it and I'll be like, spot on, you know.
Yeah.
And here's probably the biggest kicker, Josh. One time some guy came on my one of my videos. Obviously he hadn't watched it. He made a very negative comment. If he would have watched the first 30 seconds of the video, he would have seen that I touched on the comment of what he had made the comment about. And I saw it and I liked it. I like almost everything, right? It drives engagement. I'm happy. If you're going to be negative, that's your choice. But I got an email from him later that night. He said, "Call your dogs off." And I'm like, what is he talking about? So I go back on the YouTube channel and I look. My community had went after this guy so hardcore that he was just trying to get them as followers, right? And they went after him, and that's what he meant was call your dogs off.
Yeah.
So that's when you know you've got a good community behind you.
Well, what I love about this is a lot of people will create content and they're getting no engagement. Your
Right.
community defends you,
Mm-hmm.
protects you, and it's
Yeah.
tight knit. Like you're not gonna,
Yeah.
when you create content, you're gonna piss people off. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
gonna happen. Your
Yeah.
community, they're a part of you and your brand.
Yeah.
Give us one tip on how to create that kind of community where they will defend and go to bat for you.
By being responsive to them. So if anybody makes a comment, a negative comment, it even depends. I'll say thank you for your insight or something like that. And honestly, Josh, I've learned a lot from negative comments because
Mhm.
if you look at them and you really heed what they're telling you, like there was a guy that just kept running long on some of his stories and like kind of cut him off. Somebody goes, "Joe, stop cutting him off." It was in the comments, or cutting your guests off. And I'm like, you know what? They're right. I should have just let him go. And so, but being interactive, so I respond to almost everybody that has a solid comment.
Yeah, we can learn a lot from negative reviews, negative comments.
Yeah.
And that's how to create a really tight community is engaging even with the positive
Yeah.
and negative. Joe, where can people go to what's the name of your show one more time?
Joe Killinger.
Joe
Pretty
Killinger.co.
joekillinger.co. They can go to the website. It'll drive you right to the YouTube channel. or you go on YouTube and you can go to Joe Killinger.
Cool, man. And we did that all in 5 minutes. Love you guys, and we'll talk to you all on the next episode.